but you sleep in my clothes. No, it ain't right, I've been stressing at night. We're together, but I feel alone. How long do I stand here in the fire? How long do I try before I'm on my own? How long do I walk across the wire? Stay till we fall. We get chaotic and say things we wanna take back. Is there a reason that we're still together? How long do we stand here in the fire? How long do we try before we're on our own? How long do we walk across the wire? Stay till we fall. your attention. I'm running out your mind. Don't know the direction to your side. Got the wrong impression. I thought that we were fine, but now it's turned to ice. So you decide, and I just wait. I don't get you, I don't chase. So you decide, and I'll just save my time. I guess we'll never know. But don't say that you're sorry, don't say that you're sorry, girl. 'Cause we came almost too close. But don't say that you're sorry, you don't really want me, girl.
Hello, welcome to this week's broadcast of Esports Tower Rumble in Rocket League. We are broadcasting it from the beautiful Boise State Esports Arena, and tonight we kick off the night with our grand finals from last week. The Barracudas and the Wolves face off to start the night can. To start off, who can the Wolves win it all, or can the Barracudas force a bracket reset? I am always, well, not always, but I am your host, Colin Junkin, and joining me to call all the action is the lovely Colby D'Angelo. How we doing tonight? Just start off.
Doing great.
All right, and then to go into it, we sort of discussed it a little bit, going against the fatigued versus the stressed, right? The Barracudas have they're kind of on a roll, right? They've won 2 in a row, but now they're on their way to the grand finals, but they got a bracket reset. They got a long journey ahead of them, but the Wolves are they're not warm. They have yet to play anybody in this tournament for quite a while. What are your predictions on how this is going to turn out for the Wolves or the Barracudas?
So the Wolves kind of automatically got all the way up to the finals in the bracket. They haven't, but the Barracudas got early sent down to the losers bracket and had to work their way all the way back up to get in this grand finals. And not only do they have to win one series, they have to win a second one if they want to claim the overall title because they worked their way up the lower bracket there. So at this point, the Barracudas are kind of feeling a little bit fatigued versus the Wolves that are on the completely opposite end of the spectrum, where they are fresh, and you could make the argument that they're cold, maybe not warmed up all the way, so it's like too warm or too cold. And we'll have to see.
Going on a roll can always be a big competitive impact for you. And as always, the teams that competed this time around for us are the Wolves, the Barracudas, the Hammerhead, and the Lynx. And this is obviously, we're going to be starting off with the grand finals, finishing off, and also starting for this next week's Esports Tower Rumble that will carry on once we finish out this grand finals bracket. But who will it be, the Wolves or the Barracudas that take it on? Just as a reminder to everyone on our Twitch platform, support your team, celebrate their success, and be respectful of other fans. Mods will remove anyone who violates chat rules. Just be a good human being.
And we see that the Lynxes sent the Barracudas down, and then the Barracudas from there, lower semifinals, lower finals, to make it to the grand finals. But then the Wolves sent the Lynxes down.
Yes.
So, I mean, theoretically, if you, put that triangle together in your head, right, you're like, all right, okay, so the Lynxes sent the Barracudas down, and then the Lynxes were sent down. So theoretically, the Wolves should have this if you're just looking at purely at the math. But also something that we need to bring into the equation is the Barracudas are one of the most mechanically skilled teams that Esports Tower currently has in Rocket League. So the Wolves are definitely trying the coaches have been specifically on the Wolves about don't let the Barracudas get an early lead. So I think because of all that coach advice, paying attention to the early game is going to be the most important part.
All right, and definitely I think another piece of the equation we should add in are Doc's keys to the game, which in Rocket League are to create mistakes, punish the overcommits, play the walls better, and demo to disrupt. Doc's keys to the game are presented today by Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure, and you'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. Yeah, I think a big piece to really bring up is the Barracudas. kind of deadly when they really start getting into the mix of things and they really start working as a cohesive team. Their game sense and their mechanical ability really combines, and they start scoring these really beautiful goals that take a lot of mechanical ability to score them. And more often than not, that is more difficult to defend against.
So we kind of see a drift sending it over into the air over to, it looks like Yags, it looks like Greed kind of has it in a little bit of midfield there. It looks like Baby is going to go ahead and take the ball there, kind of send it up into the corner, and it looks like we get a little bit of a clear, but then almost a shot on goal, but it goes too far left.
Oh, that's a very good shot. That was actually a Wolf shot, my bad. But Yags to get the demo is a little bit off. There might be a backboard play, and there is. Ooh. A drift.
All right, first score going to the Barracudas, 4 minutes and 33 seconds remaining. You can kind of see a drift just drift in from the skybox. Like, where were they in frame until they were ready to take that goal, and they just barely touch it with a tire and send it in.
Sometimes that's all it takes. Reed off the 50. Here's Kalar looking to get an aerial play. Was bumped off a little bit. Is able to make a little bit of it work. Does get the flip reset for the 50. Now Quest still sticking with the ball. 50s it out. There's a quick follow-up by Greed, but the block out. Here's Baby with the touch. Kalar's fast on the pickup. Off the backboard, looking for a second. Doesn't quite get it. There's a mistouch. And Greed's going to have to play off to the side. And possession over to Drift now.
It looks like, ooh, massive save on the ball, massive save on goal by Greed there. A Drift is getting their second shot in of the whole game. Or, yes, a second shot. And it looks like Yags is going to kind of send things over to Quez, who's going to send things down main. And it looks like the Baby's just kind of laying in wait there to pass it over to Yags. We see the ball hit in the corner. It looks like the Baby's going to send it over to Greed, and Greed's going to make sure things stay firmly in the orange.
So sticking on the orange side here, Yags might be looking for a clear, slows it down, gets a little bit of control, gets one flick over one, actually doesn't get it at all. Quest manages to get just barely the tip of the car on there. Yags to slow it down, give it to Gababy. Gababy back to a drift, looking for the 50, doesn't quite get it. Greed almost passes it right back to a drift, and the shot by Yags is just too far off. What the shot by Gababy, wow.
All right, so this is the beginning of the Barracuda's early lead. This is what the Wolves are not looking for here, as we kind of see Quez looking to try to like clear it or do something, but actually just ends up setting the Baby up to just go sailing over them and send that ball right in.
2-0 here, 3 minutes and 20 seconds left. Not a lot to speak to it, but it definitely means the Wolves have got to start a little bit of comeback sooner rather than later, preferably. Quez looks for the follow-up, almost has the shot, just a bit off. Yags has managed to clear it just a little bit off the midfield. Great the shot, it's too far up. Gababy with the defense nonetheless.
Ooh, there's that shot on a crossy, but we get the bounce back, and then Kylar just right into their waiting tires. They're going to go ahead and send that in. You see Kylar kind of take it. You see Quez do the setup, bounce it off the crossbar, and then Kylar comes sailing in to get that goal. Now the Wolves are kind of trying to tie things up. Now we are 1-2, 2 minutes and 57 seconds remaining.
Just a few minutes off the kickoff. Quez is going to win it. Gets the full boost, looking for a pass out of mid. A little bit too rough. Sends the ball a little too far back. Nobody quite able to pick that up. Kayla looking for disrupt. Gababy does get the play. Greed now the soft touch back in the middle with Quez with the shot. And what a great passing play by the Wolves.
Just barely breezed that in like a feather there. You see Greed send it up into the air, and then Quez just barely, that second touch, feather light, getting it in the goal.
Very good passing play, and just like that, in what was maybe roughly sub 25 seconds, the Wolves are right back in it with the tie scoreline here. It sort of shows that the Barracudas may be matched a little bit in terms of scoring and defensive potential, with both teams making their fair share of mistakes here.
We kind of send things over into the orange. Things are a little bit too far to the off the goal there. We see Yags waiting for their opportunity to kind of touch the ball, maybe get a shot on. They're not quite going to get the shot. It looks like Greed's going to go ahead and try to get it clear, but they're not going to be able to do that. Looks like Yags is nailing the side control right now, nailing the aerial dribbling, just going to send that right in.
See the control here, completely uncontested, not only on the sidewall, but it takes a blue defender so long to get up in the air to challenge this. You cannot, they have to mark the Yags now.
I also want to talk about how it just barely touched the crossbar, and that kind of changed the trajectory of the ball, enabling it to go behind the defender instead of right where the defender was.
Oh, yeah. Anything off the backboard is typically what you want to go for with an air dribble, but on the sidewall is a good place to put it to for a pass. And that's Yags, but a second on the board in 10 seconds.
You see Quez just couldn't get high enough there. So now we kind of go reset, go to the next 50-50. Barracudas are currently in the lead by 2 with 1 minute and 59 seconds remaining. That's 1 goal about every minute for the Wolves to tie things up. Very doable as Yags gets the demo onto Quez, which makes their goal, which hurts their goal scoring potential right now.
Guys able to maintain control. Sidewall. Greed is able to get the defensive play, but there's no blue in net. This could be dangerous if a shot put on place here. Greed getting past the drift, the trade of the demo there. Yags now with the shot. Another demo coming out from Gababy. Greed, the sole defender, doesn't have enough boost to finish it off. It bounces off the backboard, and no fast follow-up. No goal for the side of the Barracudas to take them up 3.
Looks like as we send things into the air, that almost dances right on the midline. Yags is going to go ahead and send it over to a drift, who's going to send it off of the sidewall there. And then just lots of back. Kylar's going to go ahead and try to get a shot on goal, but it looks like the baby's going to run right into him and defend against that as the drift sends things into the air. Kind of passing back and forth with Yags as we enter the final minute of the game.
Kylar looking to get a buff, does get 50'd out by his drift. Greed's there for the last second save. Yags now has control of somebody on the middle. Blocked out by Greed. This is 45 seconds. Wind down. Killer gets a 50. Greed now sending out to the middle. Quez might have a shot. Gets 50 again. Killer might have to turn on it. Does get 1 touch of return. But Gababy's going to be able to send it off the sidewall. Looks like we get it clear here.
It looks like as that demo, Kylar's going to go ahead and get right in there. Quez is kind of sending things up on the side. Going to hit things right over to Yags. And then a drift is going to steal the ball and get a massive clear, but it looks like the defenders aren't able to get there in time. So a drift with the kind of intercept steal there, going to send the Barracudas up 3 with 21 seconds remaining.
Not 50 at all there. It's so important. It just allows the drift to get control and the 100 boost and take a really well-placed shot, bottom right bins, and puts the Barracudas up by 3 with 21 seconds left. It's going to be hard for the Wolves to make a comeback here. They might as well get a couple points on the board and try and do a morality save here.
Lots of bouncing back and forth between the sidebar. Kylar trying to get the angle that they're looking for here. They're not going to get that angle to try to score on goal. But as we go into the final 3 seconds of the game, it looks like a drift is going to be the one that tries to keep the ball alive. Now it's Yags, and Barracudas are going to win the first round in our best of 5.
And the big thing, sort of just stat-wise, you just sort of notice the Barracudas have so much accolades to their name, and that's a variant from the scoreline as well. They put up 3 more goals than what the Wolves did, and what the Wolves did is they put up goals really fast. They had 20 seconds of fame where they just were undefeatable in their offensive counterattack, but then after that, they weren't able to do much else after that. But you know, Colby, you can see how going it alone can only get you so far. Ultimately, if you want to increase your chances of success, you have to level up your teaming skills. We just saw that in the last play by Drift, Esports Tower. A Drift from Esports Tower. You can see how far they've come since the last time they were in the Rumble. Esports Tower really takes into time to create teams of well-matched teammates. I'd like to do a shout-out to Coach Jake, and if those watching haven't checked out Esports Tower Club, you should. It's a fast track to rank up.
And with that, 61% of shots on goal is what the Barracudas were looking at here. And I think that kind of just stands for itself as a single sentence that explains what happened that game, right? Because obviously you're not going to be able to score if you're not shooting nearly as much. And the Barracudas almost had a monopoly.
Yeah, they just had so much more. And that was the thing of when you have quantity and quality of shots, you really start becoming this really difficult team to deal with. And the Wolves have got to find a way to defend their backboard a lot more and stop letting these plays develop so quickly that the Barracudas are so good at.
Or the Wolves just kind of need to manage their aggression, make sure that when they can, they're taking these opportunities to get these shots on goal, even if they don't make the goal, right? Like, still having that chance there is huge. And it looks like a Drift is going to do some aerial dribbling. Quez is going to send it right back up into the air as soon as it gets within range. That's an empty net right now. I think we see some people kind of rotating back to defend. It looks like Greed is going to keep things in the air. Yags is going to be the next person to touch the ball, kind of going in from maybe a backboard touch, trying to set a Drift up, but the ball is too high for a Drift to try to score that.
There was an empty net there that could have been taken. Another empty net here for a couple split seconds here. Quez off the sidewalk, gets defended out by
Barely
Yags.
off the side.
Beautiful defensive play there.
And it looks like the baby's going to send things into the air. Green's going to meet and challenge him, but not be able to actually touch the ball. Quez is going to get a massive save as the baby is going to try to shoot and score. It looks like Adrift and Quez are kind of going at each other right now. Currently, we are right in the kind of the backfield of the orange goal here. We see Quez go up the sidewall, Yags go up to challenge them. That is 2 players up in the skybox, and no goals yet. 3 minutes and 57 seconds remaining.
Only a minute has elapsed here. Quez looking for a 50, does indeed get it. Doesn't have a whole lot of boost to work with. Looking for 100, gets demoed. Bumps Kyler out of the way as well. Now Yags looking to receive the ball. Pass up to Adrift. Now the ball in the middle. This might be a pickup by Quez. One up the sidewall here looking for the follow-up. Does get it off the backboard. Kaylor not the right angle. Almost gets bumped. Was able to nearly avoid it. Now Adrift looking for 1 touch. Doesn't have enough momentum to carry with the second. That's a settle for the 50. Quez now popping number 1. Has to get it clear here. Green at the 50. This could be dangerous. Adrift elevates. Gets 1 touch. It's going to the backboard, but saved by Kaylor.
It looks like now Gababy is going to send things over to the side. It looks like Adrift is rushing to try to meet that ball, but so is Quez. Quez is currently in possession. Going to try to pass things back to Kylar or Green. It looks like Kylar is currently in possession of the ball. Kind of trying to send things over to Quez, getting a massive demo onto Adrift. Now is the time for the Wolves to move in, and they actually, Adrift is just going to steal it, and now it's the Barracuda from the offensive.
Quez looking at a little bit of an open goal. Will stop by there, Gababy, but now it's a lot of momentum, not a lot of boost to work with. Doesn't matter, hands it off. Green getting around 1, around 2. Yags the whip. This could be their chance. Kylar getting an absolute dunk of the 50.
And I also want to talk about how the Wolves had members in midfield that could have rotated if that didn't go in.
Yeah.
We see Greed was immediately ready to follow up on that, right? So plan A didn't work. They had a plan B immediately ready.
Yeah, that ball either goes in the goal or that's bouncing off the crossbar and out to mid or bouncing up. And the only chance that really the Barracudas had to say that if that bounce up is a floater and they have a whole lot of time to recover there. But Adrift on a real big demo spree here. Now Yags looking for the slow shot. Saved by Kaylor barely. And Adrift putting it right back on the backboard here. Quez able to get a slight touch. Save them for the moment, but Yags back on it. Almost gets a beautiful flick and an outplay there. And Adrift looking for the pass out. Yags not turn on in time.
So we see Quez kind of sending things into the air. Yags is the next one in possession of the ball, so Quez is on the hard defensive, just kind of waiting to see if somebody else is going to touch it. Blue gets a massive clear all the way over into the orange, and then we go right back to the midfield again, and then right back all the way to orange. Kaylor looking to set up somebody to score a goal, but it looks like Greed is too far back and not able to get there in time to kind of follow up with Kyler's shot on goal.
That could be dangerous. Oh, Quez with a perfect little free fall there. Now Greedo's possession, looking to get around. Gets a foot challenge. Does have it. And Kyler off the side while the shot by Quez. And the Wolves go up by 2 with just under a minute 30 here.
They're exactly where they want to be right now, the Wolves, to kind of try tie things up. The Barracudas have a minute, 29 seconds to kind of make something happen, which is definitely enough time to score 2 goals. Don't let anybody fool you here. But the Wolves have taken the early and the mid-game lead, and they're winning the next 50-50, and almost going to get a goal. Just hits the crossbar on the arc in.
Oh, Kaylor trying to get the read, doesn't quite get it. Quez now has to get the 50, also doesn't get it. Now Green's going to have to elevate off the sidewall, decides not to go for it. Play it a little slow. Yags getting a really good 50. This could mean a goal for them if they play this right on the side of the Barracudas. The shot by Adrift is blocked out by Kaylor. Out of frame.
I want to say Kyler's kind of been the best savior for the Wolves, just kind of blocking shot after shot. And then we do see Adrift kind of try to take things over into the blue. The baby's there to follow it up. It looks like Yags is kind of waiting in the wings, perhaps, for one of their teammates to set them up here. But instead, Quez is going to get a massive clear all the way over to the orange side of the field. And with that follow-up, Yags barely able to touch it and to make that save in time.
30 seconds left, and the Barracudas want to stay alive. They have to make something happen here and now. And Adrift with the flip reset back down to Yags. It's just off Yags to the sidewalk again. There's Gababy putting one on the board. 1-2 here.
Ooh, and Quez getting a demo on the Gababy right after the goal was scored. Okay, Adrift got it there though, right? So we want to talk about how Adrift kind of got it all the way from backfield into the midfield, and then at that point it was up to Yags and Gababy with the final score.
Oh, there's a drift, getting the 50 that goes in their favor here. Trying to get the pass out, doesn't get it. Trying to get around Creed, also doesn't get it, but the baby quick to the center. Quez sending it back in the midfield. Now the carry with the pass over to Creed. Back down to Kyler. Kyler getting to 50. The drift now has to do something as the final 5 seconds close out. Something has to be done to keep the Barracudas alive. The shot, the pass to Yang!
Oh my god! Tie with a single second remaining. The Barracudas are going to tie this round 2 of the best of 5. We see Yags just Quez just couldn't get there in time, and neither could Kylar.
What a beautiful shot, and that's their ability to play under pressure right there. You know, with this 5 seconds there might be a lot of players that lose it and try to go for something, you know, weirder solo play that has no ability to make something of it, but they stay calm and make that passing play happen. And just like that, game 2 is alive as well for them. And they're on the side of the momentum in terms of scoring goals. And here's Kyler as the last defender back. He's bumped out after getting a bicycle kick. Drift off the sidewall here, and Taylor's there to clear it out. Quez in a drift, elevate, there could be a shot, Kyler, shot saved by Gababy, and there's a follow-up by a drift. Keep the Barracudas alive for just a couple more seconds.
Ooh, that was almost a goal. Kyler once again coming in clutch, but Gababy's not quite over it yet. Kind of trying to get that goal or set their ally up for a goal. We see Kyler get a massive clear, but a drift is already in the net waiting to kind of make that save, send things back towards the midfield as the teams are vying for the ball right now. It's just bouncing everywhere up into the air. It looks like it'll go straight down to Quez, who's trying to set things up for Kyler, but it looks like the baby's going to take possession of the ball on the ceiling and try to get a clear. Clear doesn't quite go as far as I think they wanted.
Maybe looking for a redirect, get anything. Now it's Yag's turn. Off the backwards could be dangerous for them. There's just nobody in the back there that's quite ready. They're all awkward. There's a rotation. Creed might have a shot. Takes it. Bang! Top right bins. The perfect location where a defender can't reach in time. And a Yag with little to no boost. Not able to do a whole lot about it.
You see that Yag's just barely not with enough boost there. After all their shots on goal, they weren't able to get the save. Ending round 2 in overtime. Now you can see 52-48, much closer. The Wolves are taking more shots, and so they're going to end up winning the second round 3-2. I also want to talk about boost used, 52-48. That's relatively close with a slight advantage for the Barracudas, which kind of explains how they were able to get rotations much quicker than the Wolves.
Yeah, I think the Barracudas have this sort of sense of they like to play really aggressive, and they're really far forward. They're a very aggro team, right? They're not afraid to all 3 of their players to push up 3 because they understand the importance of sometimes you do get that one initial shot that goes bad off the backboard. Here's the follow-up that doesn't get the perfect touch. There needs to be the third man that comes in to clean up the play, or else you lose the shot and ability to score. And quite honestly, I'm really impressed with their ability to sort of slow down the pace on those final 6 seconds. Drift does a really good job of getting the initial clear, getting it to Gababy, and then Gababy sees Yags over to the left and gets this perfect shot. And yeah, it was beautiful, Bob.
Perfect example of how committing all 3 to an offense can actually work in your favor, though the Barracudas didn't end up winning that round.
And that's the thing they might need to adjust is the Wolves have the ability to take advantage of that, and they're going to every time. You can't, if you commit 3 every time, there's going to be those 1 or 2 chances, like in the overtime, where you're going to be low on boost, over-rotate, not sit back post long enough and be caught out and taken advantage of.
Looks like Kyler is going to send things up into the air, kind of dribble things all the way up into the goal. It looks like, there is a secondary touch, but it's not quite there. Going to bounce around in the goal, but not actually score. And it looks like Kyler's kind of trying to set things up for Greed. It looks like going in from the side. Got to take it from Yags first before you set up your teams. And it actually looks like Gababy instead has been set up to almost get that shot on goal. This looks like all 3 of the Barracudas going on the offensive right now.
Yags a pretty good demo, gives them the time they need, getting 1 touch off the sidewall, looking for a second, no boost now, has to rotate out. Here's Gababy trying to make something happen, a pass perhaps, doesn't happen for him. Yags being 50 out, they might be a little awkward here, Drift is going to be able to get the clear, but Kyler on the shot, Yags, the 50 pinch on the inside of the goal line, gets him the save, second touch. There's quite a lot of chaos going on here, and really good defensive performance from the Barracuda so far.
It looks like Adrift is currently in possession of the ball, going to send things over, and Greed is immediately going to send things volleying back. It looks like Gababy is going to make a save, and then Kyler's going to send things down to Quez in midfield, who does not have a shot because Adrift blocks it before it can even happen.
Yeah, actually, touchdown to Gababy. Gababy with the shot, getting it past one, not able to get the second. The actually Green might be a little 50 though. Or rule one didn't quite happen though. There's a rip the pass, but there's no follow from the orange attacker. Now off the sidewall, looking to something happen. Doesn't quite get there though. Kyler trying to disrupt, getting the 50, doesn't need to do it. There's a shot, but it's blocked up by a drift.
And then it looks like currently we have Quez and Reed now in possession of the ball, kind of sending things over, nailing the side control, going to try to drop it down main for one of their allies to maybe get a shot on goal, but instead Yags is going to send things over into the blue, get a massive clear. And I think all three members of the Barracudas are trying to play an offensive game right now, even as the Wolves get a big clear into the orange, forcing Gababy to rotate back.
Reed out the sidewall, looking for something. There's Kyle, the shot. Wow. The pass of the sidewall, the Barracudas are not able to make it up for time. And I do want to point out, look at their boost counts here. And look at where their boost counts are. 0 and Adrift on the sort of negative decline there, but out in a really bad position. And that's what he sort of pointed out, that boost usage is going to end up biting them later in the game.
Looks like Adrift is going to get the first aggressive play here, sending us deep into blue territory. Greed is going to go up the sidewall, kind of try to send things over. It looks like Gababy's trying to set up for a shot down main, but instead will be turned away. It looks like Kylar and Quez are trying to set up down main. It looks like Yags is going to go ahead and take the ball from them. From Greed, bounces off the sidewall to set something up, and Greed actually sets themselves up for that goal, leading the Wolves up 2 to the Barracudas nothing with 2 minutes and 22 seconds remaining.
Greed just getting right over Yags.
Straight to the sidewall.
2 minutes, 22 seconds left here. The Wolves are up by 2. So don't count that lead as too much though, because we've definitely seen that in game 1 turn around for both sides. There's Kyler with a really good 50, looking to finish out the shot. Isn't going to quite get it. Now he's on the sidewall trying to read up the ceiling. Also, isn't going to let it happen. The drift is just a soft little touch. Not a whole lot of beautiful possession to work with. Just be out. Greed now trying to make a shot. Cleared out like a baby to follow up there. Maybe does have enough boost to make something happen here. Drift Yags looking good on the boost count as well. Going to give up possession of back pass. Doesn't quite go their favor. Yags in for a shot. Not strong enough to make anything happen.
It looks like Yags is kind of... Quez is actually going to steal the ball, try to set up Kylar there. Even as Quez and Greed both rotate back to defend. Greed currently in possession of the ball, but Yags is going to try to send things over into the blue and be unable to. Greed still in possession of the ball now, just kind of has to get past Adrift and Gababy, it looks like there. Quez is going to send things up into the air. Is there follow-up for Quez? Not that we can see just yet. It looks like they're getting the setup, the bounce off the sidewall, and Gababy's going to go ahead and take possession. But Kylar's still not over it yet, trying to be as big of a pain to Yags as I possibly can.
Oh, the shot potential. Adrift, once again, the second time that a pass has happened for them, and doesn't get taken advantage of by a teammate here. Now Kylar's shot opportunity, fakes out his rim, and an open net for Kylar. Wow.
3-0 with 58 seconds remaining. We're going to see Kylar just perfectly empty net. Yags can't get there in time. Definitely, Yags seems to be somebody that is kind of struggling with the boost when it comes to getting back in the net. I think that's the second or third goal that we've seen Yags just not have the boost to be able to defend against. And it looks like Green is going to try to get a shot on goal, but instead the ball is going to be yoinked. Yags is going to try to make that save there. It looks like the baby's going to go up on the sidewall. Quez right below them, trying to do things defensively. Kylar barely going to nudge that out of the way, but a drift there with the follow-up. Barracudas still have 2 more points to make up with 40 seconds remaining.
Really good shot by Notion there, and that just goes, he's putting that right where nobody is, and the opposite direction where everyone's going to be thinking that's going. Putting them in the game here, 40 seconds. It's a tall order to ask for, but can the Barracudas make it happen? I think so. They really end up finding their rhythm. But it looks like Kylar elevates, might be looking for the pass to Greed. Isn't going to let anything happen here. Down to Wes in shadow. Does get one touch out to the sidewall here. Yags quick to follow up. Get a touch, looking for a touch over a couple players. Maybe it's a Gababy. Gababy's going to get 50. And a clear out from Kylar, but Yags maintaining control. Getting behind these blue lines right now.
It looks like Adrift is going to try to make a shot on goal, but with Greed right there, Yags is unable to follow up. We're in the final 8 seconds. The Barracudas has switched to all offensive mode as Yags is going to circle back, try to set somebody up there. It looks like Adrift is going to take it to the ceiling. Ooh, and then right back down.
And the Wolves going up 2-1 in the series. Not a massive surprise, honestly, from me, at least on the desk, in terms of the Wolves looked really good. And, you know, on paper, the way we were talking about in the beginning, you know, the Wolves sent the Lynx down, the Lynx sent the Barracudas down. So theoretically, this should be working out the way in this favor. But I just wouldn't count any one team out yet or a player, because just like that, just in the same fashion that the Wolves are kind of came back from what was a blowout in the first game, they're sort of coming back and they're making their mark on it. And the Barracudas are sort of that team that, when forced into a corner, they really tend to fight back, and it tends to be very brutal for the team if the Wolves won't be able to stick with it.
But if the Barracudas are going to continue to only shoot 30% of all goals, I don't know if they're going to be able to take it back, right? I mean, percentage of shots taken is one of the biggest indicators we've seen in this game of which team is going to come out on top, right? We had the 68, now the 70, and it's just kind of oppressive when you're only able to take 30% of all the goals.
Yeah.
So the Barracudas this next game really need to focus on taking shots, being able to do that, and defending successfully, like having the boost to be able to make some of those big saves, and anticipating when the Wolves are going to come to try to score.
Oh, empty lobby. No idea what happened there. Okay, maybe it's just the lobby. It's just probably a lobby issue. They're probably going to restart and go right back into it, so it really doesn't matter.
It's the celebratory drift goal. They're keeping it alive.
Yeah, you know, they're practicing, right? It's they're scrimming before the fourth game, if that's even legal to do. But hey, who knows?
They needed a little bit of warm-up. Adrift is like, all right, just give me a couple shots. Let me clear my head. Now we've reset. We're in a couple seconds, 4 minutes and 55 seconds remaining here, as Reed and Kylar are spinning in the air looking for that ball. Yags on the ground, gonna barely stop that first. And it looks like Kylar's not able to make the second shot, so now Yags gets a pretty big clear, but Greed is in net to send things at least over to the side and kind of put a wrench in the plans of the Barracudas.
Oh, there's Yags. Second shot. The power of friendship's going to put Kylar in the perfect position to save that ball. Now Quez trying to get around Gababy. Gababy's really good 50. Looking to fall up the pass down. Here's Yags. Getting the perfect over-the-top angle at the bottom of the card. Going to put a punt on the board for the Barracudas.
Gababy kind of sends it down main. Yags sends it right between Greed and Kylar. Just whoop, ball goes straight through. Kind of felt like that had a laser sight or something on it. I thought one of them was going to be able to stop it. It looks like as we kind of win this, as the 50-50 goes the way of Blue, Gababy just gets a completely uncontested goal.
That's kickoff. Maybe the replay show us, yeah. Bonk Quez and Greed misread the ball, get caught out. Gababy just had the easiest goal they could ask for there. Is Kyler not able to make it back in time? And like I said, you know, the Barracudas back to this corner here, they're gonna fight. Don't expect them to just sort of lose willingly here. Kyler's gonna be able to clear it out, but Yags quick to fall up. The Drift gonna have to slow this ball down. He doesn't do it, it's 50. And another 50 going to Drift's favor, looking for a pass out mid with no boost. Doesn't even get it. Now Gababy's shot saved by Kyler, and Yags is elevated. Gets one, looking on the backboard. Quez getting one touch, looking to get the read. Now Yags with 19 boost. Gonna have to make a rotation back. Now Drift gonna have to make a play. Gets it past them. Can Quez follow it up? Cannot. The Drift gets the perfect fall down.
Looks like Gababy's gonna, amazing dribble there. Looks like Kylar kind of is there to save. Greed's gonna get demoed, but so is Gababy at this point, kind of ruining both teams' rotations as the Drift just trying to dribble all the way into that blue goal. But Kylar's just there disrupting in every step of the way as the Drift is once again in possession of the ball, but Kylar's not gonna give him a break. Yags currently kind of sending it up in the air, doing a little bit of dribbling, gonna bounce it off the sidewall and actually set Kylar up for almost a goal.
Greed trying to get the speedy beat there. It gets faked out by Gababy. Gababy gets fishy with Quez. Adrift getting the demo on Greed. Denies a little bit of the boost gain there. Still in danger zone here. Greed not in any position to make a shot. Now it's Yags. How to make the ball player on Greed. Doesn't he get it? Quez get the beat as well. Maybe Yags with the 2 in defense for this. Kyler now in possession, looking to get around, doesn't get it. And Quez just blocked out barely. And that's the second time Greed's been sent to the respawn zone.
Looks like as we kind of set things up into the air, Kylar and Gababy go up into the air to challenge each other. Gababy ends up with possession of the ball, sending things over to Adrift, who's trying to send it more midfield so one of his teammates can do something, but Quez is just dominantly holding on to this ball as Adrift is going to try to send things main once again, but Kylar's just going to steal, get a massive clear, but Gababy was back, ready, and prepared.
Greed having up with shots, doesn't need get it. Getting a 50, I think, with sort of this ground dribble shot. Replay was spread a little bit of light. Yes, it does. Yeah, it's a really good fake. Just right past the baby.
Looks like it'll be set up for our next 50-50. 1-2, 2 minutes and 16 seconds remaining. Looks like Yags is going to win the initial 50-50, but Greed's going to come in, support their allies there, go up the sidewall, try to send things main, get a massive clear all the way into the blue, forcing Quez onto the defensive.
Kyler now gets one touch, looking for a second up the sidewall here, getting a musty flick. Yags able to defend it, not able to get a pass. Quez putting it in the corner here. Gababy trying to get it clear. Greed might have a 50, doesn't need to get it. Kyler gonna decommit from that. Quez not gets a save. Beat by Yags. This could be dangerous for the Wolves.
Ooh. Looks like Kyler's going to go up on the sidewall, set Quez up, but instead Yags is going to intercept that, and Adrift has an empty net to try to score, and it lifts it! Yags and Adrift each going to get credit for trying to score there, but both of them are going to be turned away by that sidewall.
They're definitely not going to like the way, especially that way the goal turned out. If the Wolves manage to put another on the board and tie it up here, a little bit of miscommunication. Bump there, Kyler sends it out. Quez looking to get the back pass to Greed. Greed gets bumped. Now Gababy has a chance to get a play here. Kyler sending it down to the corner, playing it safe route. Quez getting the 50, pass Yags. Adrift, the shot. Greed able to the defense right.
Barracudas up to 55 seconds remaining. The Wolves 1-3. Really need to do something in these final 55 seconds. That's one goal about every 25. Definitely doable, but becoming progressively a taller and taller order as seconds tick down.
Oh, there could have been a good play, but Quez ultimately gets faked out. Now Drift looking with not a whole lot of boost, on the orange side. Yags gonna put a shot. This could be dangerous if Gababy's not able to get back in time. Not a whole lot of boost. Pinches it with the backboard. Another sidewall shot. There's Greed to keep this game within scoring distance for the Wolves and to tie it all up with under 40 seconds left.
They weren't ready for Greed to get. That was actually a triple commit to the goal for the Wolves there, and it actually ended up working in their favor, putting them 2-3, 39 seconds remaining. Definitely doable to score a goal and tie things up as the Barracudas are going to win the 50-50, but Quez is immediately going to take that after Kylar demos Adrift. We see a big pass, but Gababy's going to get the save on goal, and Adrift is going to try to send things over. Yags is going to get to the ball first, and I think that's a goal, even as Greed demos Yags after the ball was already set to score.
I really do like the shot attempt by Greed. It was just had no elevation on it. You had, I believe that was Adrift. I'm not quite sure who got the save credit there. That was stagnant. They were, if you get that in any other location, that's a goal for you and you end up tying it up. And now, with 20 seconds left, it's an even taller order for the Wolves to make here, as all the Barracudas got to do is play keep away here.
Looks like Yags is going to send it in the air to do just that, and then immediately send it back down to Adrift, who's going to try to dribble and maybe get a last-second goal here, but instead send it right over to Greed, who takes it up the sidewall, trying to keep this ball in the air, but it looks like the Barracudas are just going to go ahead and spike that down.
Wow, going to a game number 5. Yeah, looking at that total shot, the Barracudas definitely making a rebound statistically from their performance last time around, but that's exactly what I commented on. You put this team in a corner, they're going to show out a little bit more. And the Wolves definitely, I think the statistics lied a little bit. It did not feel this way. At least my eyes are telling me a different thing than what the numbers are telling me. So I feel like it was a lot closer than what it was. The Wolves let the Barracudas gain the momentum, which is what we talked about. Now they have to slow them down again. But now it's a do or do not situation, right? Do the Barracudas end up bracket resetting it and sending it into a longer series, more drawn out for them? which perhaps we could see the Wolves make a stronger comeback because they might be a little more warmed up, a little more refreshed, or the Wolves just straight up close it out here. We will see.
Looks like we're going to kind of find out. I think the Barracudas had a lot of very dominant side control. I believe that number was 60 last time. So I think step one for the Wolves is going to be kind of stopping a lot of that side control so that they themselves can try to score some goals. Yags is going to get the first demo of the game onto Kylar, and Adrift is going to get our first goal. If that's not the Barracudas gaining momentum with the first goal in 6 seconds, I don't know what is.
That's a really important demo by Yags there onto Kylar, because Kylar would have been the one to rotate and probably end up contesting a drift on that air dribble as soon as they knew Greed did not have the ability to make a touch. And as it looks like another missed touch coming up from Quez, hopefully do not see a lot more of this Wolf teams in this final game here. Kylar getting it out to this corner boost here. Gababy giving it over to Yags. Yags sending it over to the side. And here's a drift. Then a back pass, a shot on net. Barely saved by Yags there. Almost could have been a rough situation for the Barracudas.
Greed is currently in possession of the ball. Going to send things over to Quez, who sends things into the air immediately to Kylar. They're trying to find an angle that they want to attack from right now, kind of circling the Barracudas like sharks.
Oh, and the pass play is going to get a pass too, but is not able to beat out Kylar. Greed now off the sidewalk, giving it over to Greed over to Kylar now. Quez going to have to get the catch here. Doesn't get it. 50 up by a drift. Doesn't get it at all. Now Quez take a shot. Gababy is able to get there in time to make the save as Yags get the clear.
Looks like Kylar's now in possession of the ball. Going to get a pretty big clear. Oh, that shot just barely goes high off the crossbar. And then we see Yags and Greed kind of meet for speed, vying for the ball over here. Greed's going to try to send things down. Gababy, it looks like Quez and Kylar have kind of set up to try to facilitate this goal, but so far, right as I say that, Yags is going to come in and try to take that shot away from them, which they do successfully, kind of sending things all the way back over to the midfield and onto the orange side of the field where Quez now has an opportunity to score.
Yags gets a really good off-the-wall read here at Drift. Now looking to get the touch, just get anything. Greed and Quez trying to go for it. Quez is the one that ends up taking it. Does get the flip reset. Looking at the second. 50 out a little bit like a baby. Sent over in the corner there. Oh, a little bit of almost a blunder there. Oh, and the pinch might set up Yags for the read. What a beautiful play that would have been if it ended up connecting.
And it looks like Quez is going to try to send things over. Adrift is already waiting in that goal for that first clear. Massive clear, but Greed's just barely going to send things over. But nobody's able to stop Adrift with the follow-up touch and goal, putting Barracudas up 2 to the Wolves nothing. 2 minutes and 43 seconds remaining.
Drift had a perfect follow-up off that pass. But Wolves mentals might be a little down right now. But this speak volume to their ability. You do not want to get bracket resetted here. It only makes it more tough for the Wolves. And a shot put on net by Yags, saved out by Quez. Wolves are going to have to definitely be a little more proactive and reactive on the defensive side. An open net they could find to get it over Yags. Yags going to send it on the side. Buy them a little bit of time here. As Blue Attackers are going to look to find a way. They might be the one. And Gababy's able to send it off. And looking like an easy clear for Yags here.
Looks like Gababy and Greed are going to come down from main field. Greed currently in possession of the ball. And Dirk is going to try to take that away, but is unable to do so completely as Gababy gets a little baby clear right over to Kylar. And then it looks like Gababy's going to run down the field, try to contest Quez for it. And Greed is currently in possession of the ball, sending it up into the air, looking for an ally to pass it to hopefully score.
Kylar looking to elevate, does get the speed aerial, gets it down, but it's just a bit too wide and not able to convert that double touch into a score. But there might be a second chance for Kylar, saved out by Yags, maybe a third for Quez, a shot at the back, but is there a fourth? Greed off the crossbar again. That is 4 shots that have been denied for the Wolves here.
And the crossbar had a pretty big part to play in 3 of them as Adrift kind of sends things up into the skybox. Quez goes to challenge him for it. Yags currently in possession of the ball, getting a big clear all the way over into orange territory. And now Gababy is in possession of the ball, trying to set up. It looks like Yags down the midfield, but instead Yags is going to demo Greed. And then, in turn, Adrift gets demoed.
get a fake there. Quest with the shot. I don't know if that was off the hood of Yags. It might have been. The replay will hopefully clear it up. This fake by Kyler and then the 50. Oh, was it drift? No, it was just drift shot. What a weird angle to get a lot of height on the ball there.
And I think that's the surprise goal. That's how they catch him off guard there. It looks like the Barracudas are going to win the 50-50 and immediately get him put in the position to try to score as Yag sets up Gababy. Gababy's going to bounce it off the crossbar, bounce it off the sidebar, not be able to score fully because now Greed is in net, passing it back and forth between a drift.
Yags might make up something of this. Drift, a little bit of back pass here. Gababy looking to get the pass out of mid. Off the ceiling here. Greed is able to beat one attacker, but not able to beat out a drift with the teammate. Plays. Going to get 100. Doesn't even get it. Might be looking for something to happen. Yags does get the beat. Now it's up to Kyler. Blocked a shot. And a perfectly placed left crossbar shot for Gababy. It's going to put the Barracudas up by a pretty good margin here with 25 seconds left.
Wolves need to score about every 12 seconds to kind of tie this game up to have a chance at winning the best of 5 and the title. The Wolves win here, and we're done. The Barracudas win, and we've got another series.
With 20 seconds left and 2 goals to make up for it, it's looking like a lot of desperation for the side of the Wolves as the Barracudas might be leading this to a bracket reset. And there's a drift, a shot off the crossbar as the final seconds wind down. It looks like the Wolves are all but done for this series right now. There's Gababy looking to put another one on the board. It's the final second, 4-1. The Barracudas bracket reset the grand finals here.
So, kind of as we see Gababy pop it up, they don't need any follow-up whatsoever. Quest is just a little bit too far to the right to be able to get that save. Barracudas are going to take that in a massive upset. Total shots, 64-36, very in the Barracudas' favor. Not as impressive as 70%, which we saw in favor of the Wolves, one of those matches. But the Barracudas definitely were putting in shot after shot after shot, and it felt like the Wolves couldn't keep up with the Barracudas' offense.
Yeah, it definitely felt like that. It's sort of the beginning as well. And I feel like the first, like this midpoint between like the 3 minute to 1 minute mark felt like sort of blur to me, just because it just felt like a lot of back and forth, right? And that's sort of what these games end up developing to, especially when a team like the Barracudas has the advantage and they have the lead. They don't need to put a whole lot of pressure on you, right? They understand, they sort of respect the Wolves' defense. They understand, you know, we're going to have to put some really good shots on the net in order to get past this Wolves defense. So if we just sort of play keep away and eventually just keep sort of hammering shots, one of them's going to find the way. And, you know, the Wolves have to find a way to hold possession there and create a passing play or a demo play or to find something to break through. But it goes into a bracket reset.
So what does the bracket reset mean for the Wolves?
It just means longer gameplay, honestly, and I'm sort of hoping that now it's a warm up for them, right? As much as weird that it is, I hope the first series is sort of just a warm up for them, because I know the Wolves are a very deadly team, and I know the Barracudas are a very, very deadly team, but the Barracudas got to be gassed here. It's a lot of Rocket League to play.
Oh my gosh,
it's a ton of Rocket League to play, and you know a lot of these series are so competitive, it can take a toll on you, you know, in the wrist, in the head, in the thumbs. So, but we really won't see that until after these messages, and we get to see series number 2 for this bracket reset. Who will take it, the Wolves or Barracudas? We'll see after this short break.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
It's the end of a good day's work in Idaho. Time to punch out. Time to check in and catch up. Time to remind ourselves that what we work for isn't a paycheck. It's to make the good things we have even better. So here's to your good day's work. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe money is a thing. It's not everything.
You take really strong players from disparate communities and you put them together on teams with expert coaching.
So you mean to tell me by all the hands in the room, everybody in here is that top 2%?
not every day that you're a kid like me and you get to have this experience.
Something, he gets one.
This boot camp is really about finding out every weakness.
There's no such thing as a big mistake at this level.
I have people in the crowd there cheering my name on. I have to give them a show.
That feeling of just being up on stage and having a whole crowd of people, it's unbeatable.
1v1, but... Oh, why would you pick him?
I love this. I want to do this every day.
You didn't make a choice, so you were just looking at things.
If you want to go pro, sometimes you have to make sacrifices.
Jump up and down, hear a crowd, hear casters. It's a transformational experience.
That was a light switch, and now I see what it's all about.
A lot of players here right now are caught up in winning their tournaments 5-10 years down the road. They're not going to remember who won.
Back to this week's broadcast, Esports Tower Rumble in Rocket League, where we just finished out the bracket reset for the Barracudas versus the Wolves. The Barracudas that were put down the lower bracket have made their run. Currently, on a technicality, on a 3-series winning streak. Now they have to do it one more time and they can finish it out. Or the Wolves, the team that sort of kind of came in, beat the team that I was most impressed with, the Lynx, sent them down, and then beat the former Stingrays as well. Or I'm sorry, beat the Hammerheads and then beat the Lynx. The team that I was really impressed by. So I'm really sort of shocked by all this is developing as it sort of goes. And what do you summarize from that last series?
So it's taken a lot for the Barracudas to get here, right? So what we've done now is because the Barracudas won entirely through the lower bracket after being put down there in the first place by the Lynxes, who the Wolves actually sent back down to the lower bracket as well. So, just got to kind of keep that in the back of our minds here as we're doing the Wolves-Barracudas matchup. The Barracudas, have won series after series after series, even taking the grand finals to a bracket reset. And the Wolves are just like, what happened?
Yeah.
These guys came from the lower bracket and we're getting smashed game 5.
I think, especially if you're not really if you're not in the know either of sort of, you sort of play if you were to play the game, or if you were to watch the game, I guess, of the Lynx versus Barracudas, you would sort of see, right, the Barracudas are a deadly team. They just sort of, whatever it was, they lacked it that sent them down to the lower bracket. But clearly, sort of the Wolves have got to be shocked a little bit because they're like, the Lynx beat the Barracudas. We beat the Lynx, therefore we should be able to beat the Barracudas, right? We've talked about it before. It's a rather confusing conundrum for the teams, I imagine. But we just want to take a moment to congratulate all the Esports Tower Club members who have graduated from the clubs and have been offered scholarships across the country over the last 3 months. Esports Tower Club members have received over $4.5 million in scholarship awards. These students have not only worked hard in their in-game play, but have worked hard academically and have earned these scholarship opportunities. The players that receive these scholarships are talented, hardworking, and driven, and we could not be more excited and proud to see all these opportunities these players are getting. Yeah, you see that number? Yeah, it's 4.5 for the total amount of, across all games, all players that have received scholarships. That's an insane number to think of, really.
Yeah, and it looks like about half of that was for Rocket League.
Yeah, so, Rocket League's, which you kind of see, these are some very talented players, honestly. I look at these players and, honestly, automatically, they could probably show up to the club team that we have on campus and immediately hang with them, with some of the best players that we have on the club team right now. So I think they definitely earned the scholarships they got, because we have some large amount of talent on this pitch right now.
And the most impressive thing to me that comes out of some of these esports tower teams is the individual mechanical play that is coming out of all of these teams, right? They're still working on their rotations together and things like that. But the mechanical play is just astounding to watch sometimes.
Yeah, but then mechanics and rotations. But nevertheless, you should always listen to Doc's Keys to the Game, which are Rocket League to create mistakes, punish the overcommits, play the walls better, and demo to support. These are brought to you by Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched up with these great players and professional coaches that help you rank up. Hopefully getting right into this matchup. And just as I say that, yes, we see the beautiful intro graphic to it all. The final, the bracket reset for this week 2 Rumble for Esports Tower and Rocket League. Will the Barracudas triumphant and take it all on a 4-series win streak, or the Wolves finally be able to stop it all?
At this point, I hope they do. They made it all the way through the lowers bracket, made the bracket reset. We're going for the Barracudas here, I think.
Yeah.
As Gababy's going to get the demo onto Quez, and then Greed's going to send the ball up into the air. It looks like they maybe have a shot in there. And was there anybody midfield to pass that up? Guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we'll never know. Actually, that's all. You don't get to know. We don't get to know. It's all over. We'll never know. I'm just kidding. We're getting right back into it. Yeah, I was looking for so it looks like the shot didn't happen. There was nobody there.
There was nobody.
In the midfield.
There's no follow-up there in midfield. And it looks like we're going to kind of see Gababy send things down. Creed gets a massive save. Gababy gets a massive save, against Greed's shot, and then Greed is looking for a second shot on goal here, kind of sending things into the corner, demoing a drift, which will maybe set Quez up to do something. They have to pass it all the way back over to Greed, who bounces it off the crossbar, and it goes just a little bit too wide, and Greed's sent back into this corner, getting bullied by Yags, Gababy, and a drift.
Greed trying to take off 3 different defenders right there and holding their own. Nevertheless, it looks like the Barracudas might have a clear here. They are definitely, there's a drift looking for the pass. A shot was attempted, but it goes off the backboard. Gababy looking to control the ball and send it back to the middle. Controlled by Yags and sent back to the other side by Kalar. The drift now getting a really good pinch at the sidewall here. Yags getting a good touch over, looking for the follow-up on the wall. Is able to do it. Is there a follow-up? There is not, as Kyler's going to be able to turn that ball quickly and send it right back over to the orange side.
And it looks like after this, we see Quez send it to Greed, who bounces it off of Kyler, but a drift is just going to barely throw a wrench in their system to stop that goal from going through. We see Gababy and Quez, Greed, kind of facing off there now. Quez going to try to bounce things, kind of stop those saves before they can even get there. Greed gets a massive clear, almost a shot on goal, except it's a little bit too far to the side.
Drift now, possession is going to get 50 hours. In fact, beat on the sidewall here. Gababy looking to get a clear. Greed's the one to follow up on it, though. Looking for the second touch off the sidewall. Now Quez with the flip reset gets it down. This might be shot opportunity. And there's Kalar, quick to follow it up.
Quez showing off their amazing dribbling skills. Touches it, gets the flip reset, gets that second touch, and then Kyler just comes right on under them. First goal, 2 minutes and 49 seconds in. The Wolves are up 1. Barracudas have got to figure out what they can do to kind of turn this around. It looks like Yags is currently in possession of the ball. That's a great start. Pretty impressive aerial dribbling there, as the drift is going to get the demo on the Kylar, but unfortunately the Barracudas are not in a position to take advantage of that yet.
There's Yags trying to get the flick. Is sort of able to get it. Rebounded off the backboard there. Yags still getting one more touch to control it. Gababy might have the shot opportunity. And there's a save by Kalar. Demoed out Quez by Yags. Oh, and just a couple missed shot opportunities by the Barracudas.
Kalar's the emperor of saves right now, just doing fantastic work out here. It looks like Kalar's going to send it over to a drift, who's going to send it to Gababy, get a pretty big clear back to midfield. Yags gets a shot on goal, and Greed was there to defend, but too far back in net. So the Barracudas are going to tie this up with 2 minutes and 3 seconds remaining.
really good shot placement by Yags there. He's able to just barely beat out Kalar, who takes 2 wide of a rotation, and Greed just not able to get there in time and not able to elevate high enough up. Barracuda's going to tie this out 1-1 as we just reach under 2 minutes. The pass out of Gababy from a drift. Yags trying to get a touch on it. Nobody quite back yet to play a whole lot of defense. Qued's going to get a good 50, but Drift is going to stay with it off the sidewall here. Getting a flip reset and the control down. And now 100 boost and the pass out of middle. No, not going to happen.
All right, and then we see Quez kind of touch the ball, send it over to Yags, who sends it over Kylar, but Greed's going to keep that ball in the game, kind of pass things over. Gababy tries to get disrupt, send it straight into the air, then Adrift's going to take possession, and it looks like Kylar's trying to make shots on goal instead of saves, which is kind of different here. It looks like Greed is going to send things over to Quez. Man, the Wolves cannot catch a break from the Barracuda's defense right now.
Greed looking on the back wall here, looking to try and get some defense. Doesn't get the touch, but Quez is there to fall quickly. Yags trying to get the 50, doesn't even get it. Now Quez is going to fall up again. Not a whole lot of boost to Quez's name, not a lot of boost to the blue side name. And all this could be the perfect time for the Barracudas to mount a counter-offensive. Kalar starts playing keeper out.
Looks like Yags is currently in possession of the ball. Ooh, almost. Ooh, Greed's going to get a massive clear after Yags almost gets a goal. And actually, that was almost a goal off the clear there. Gababy luckily waiting, ready and waiting in the net to stop that.
Oh, Gababy gets bumped off now. Drift. Greed might have the shot and blocked out. 30 seconds remain. The scoreline still 1-1. Wolves pushing overtime, but will somebody be able to even the scoreline in their favor? Going to push to their scoreline, more likely a drift. Now the pass out to the midfield, gives it to Quez. Quez looking to elevate over one. Gababy plays high, gets played over by Yags, playing the backboard defense. Greed looking for the shot to find it. They play too far up. And in the final seconds of this game, a drift is just going to be able to bang it over them. And that is an instance that we talked about, that committing your third man too far up, in some instances, is sometimes good. And like you just saw,
Can be
sometimes
punished.
very bad.
As we go to this final 50-50 here, Yags is going to get it over into the blue with 6 seconds remaining, and Yags demoed. The ball's pretty close to the ground. We're going to... Yeah, Gababy's just going to spike that right back down, and the Barracudas are going to take round 1. They're 1 round closer to getting the massive upset.
Yeah.
To telling the Esports Tower underdog story. We're 1 round closer.
Yeah, you know, just in a best of 5-2, do you have any predictions for what it's going to go? 3-0, 3-2?
So I want to call back to something that the Wolves coaches had mentioned, which is that the Barracudas, once they kind of are on a roll, it's very, very difficult to stop them. So they've actively been pressing the Wolves not to let the Barracudas get that lead. And that's right now what the Barracudas have. But to kind of counter that, this is the second series, and these are going pretty long, and some of them have gone into overtime, and the Barracudas have just gone through, swept the entire lowers bracket. I do expect, though the Barracudas are a team that is fully capable of going in and just going hard the whole time so that their enemy can't adapt or do anything in the face of it, enough so that the coaches, again, warn the Wolves about it. I think the Barracudas are fighting fatigue at this point.
Yeah, and more than anything, I feel like the Wolves' confidence has got to be low as well, too. You got to be hurt in terms of the mental game and the confidence you just lost. I believe, you know, the second game in a row, and you got bracket reset. You know, you got bracket reset, and then you lost the second game in a row right now. And if you lose this game, you get put on the match point. As Greed's trying to play it around a little bit, isn't going to find anything, though. The Drift's going to recenter it here. There might be a shot by Yags. The second touch does put Kylar a little bit out of position. Sit on the front post, does get bumped. There's a shot by Yags, and that bump was massive.
Barracudas not showing signs of fatigue just yet. They're coming out swinging. We see Yags just kind of skirt right over the enemy there and get that goal.
And the coaches actually made the comment that the Wolves know they cannot lose game 1 here. They cannot let the Barracudas gain the momentum that they let them get in sort of the first series. And, you know, as I sort of see this after the fact, the Barracudas have game 1 in the bag. So it's more or less an issue of, yeah, the Barracudas have momentum. You sort of have to face that fact. Now it's a bigger part of, can you match that momentum?
We've got the snowball rolling down the mountain, and it's up to the Wolves to stop it here. As Quez is going to get a save, so I mean, that's a good stop there. Kylar gets the demo onto Baby, kind of disrupting the Barracuda's rotations. And the Wolves are going to be able to take advantage of that disruption and tie things up 1-1, 3 minutes and 52 seconds remaining.
Really fast last second follow-up by Greed there. Able to tie it up. It's up for minutes, now facing on this kickoff here. Is going to go on the orange side here. There's no quick follow-up from the Wolves here. Drift's going to bang it over to the backboard here. Isn't going to get anything. Defense is played up by Greed. Kalo for a shot. Isn't able to find the Yags trying to counter with it. The ball is out in middle again. Quez looking for a 50. Gets it past Gababy with control now. Going to get some type of 50 with Yags. Kalo doesn't quite get it. Swords back in this ping pong state again. The ball just sent back and forth between sides and corners, really.
Looks like kind of as we go over there, we see it looks like Adrift is currently in possession of the ball, going to kind of send things over. Quez is going to get that first touch, get that second touch, try to kind of send things over here. Off to the side, coming in straight through midfield, is going to get disrupted a little bit. Now Adrift is in possession of the ball, looking for a clear, but instead the ball gets stolen and Yags is in a position where they're forced to save.
Oh, that could be dangerous. Greed is the last one back, is able to get the flip, send the ball in the air a little bit, buy a little bit of time for the teammates to get back with the pass in a bit. Gets passed up by 2. Kylar with the 50 sends it over to orange corner as well. Yags able to pick up the boost here, but still has a lot to deal with. Gababy with the 100 and enough boost on the blue side as well to make something happen. Greed trying to get the 50, doesn't quite happen for him. Now Yags in possession, looking to play it over, one off the backboard. Greed might have a shot, looking to play down. It is beautifully played out by Drift, getting a great read.
Now we see the Barracudas, they're able to be on the offensive, kind of sending things over into the blue. Gababy trying to set their teammates up for some sort of offensive play here, but Adrift is too far back and sends things up into the air for the rest of their teammates to kind of vie for here. And Greed actually is going to get our first clear into the orange, and it's hard to see who just rolled over their hood there, but they're definitely trying their best defensively. Somebody comes straight from midfield. Yags gets the shot, but Quez is going to get that save immediately after it. Saw Yags zooming through midfield and was like, I should put a stop to that.
Okay, there's Quez in the backfield here. Does have to get 50 out. This kill still could be dangerous if there's not a clear. 50 by Gababy. Yags elevates, gets one soft touch, gives it over to Adrift. It might be followed by Adrift or Yags. Adrift down to the midfield. It is played out. Now Gababy with a little bit of time decides to fake, going for another touch, gets it around 2 here. This could be dangerous for him. Greed has to do a soft touch off the sidewall here. They're going to get a 50. Quez just get the demo on the person that would have taken the shot. Keeps him alive and in the game for a little bit longer here.
Looks like as we kind of go in there, Yags kind of has a shot on goal, but Greed is able to disrupt that there. 1 minute and 2 seconds remaining, and this game is still tied as we enter kind of this desperate countdown where these teams are going to have to find a hole in the other's defenses.
Off the sidewall here, easy cleared by Gababy. Is going to get it, sends it over to that big boost. Nobody's quite going to take it here. Kylar down the defense. Greed elevates. Gababy with the double touch is going to put them in the lead with 41 seconds here left.
41 seconds is definitely enough time for the Wolves to tie this up, but with how long that third goal of the series took, I think they're going to have a tough time against the Barracuda's defense here.
Oh yeah, 41 seconds left. They're definitely dealing with a lot of pressure. You do not only put match point here. Yags with the flick.
My gosh!
Wow! Is able to put it just perfectly behind the defensive player.
Almost right off the kickoff there. Yags just came in, sent it right over Quez trying to defend, and Quez couldn't get high enough to stop it. Now the Wolves are in the much more difficult position of, instead of 1 goal in 40 seconds, 1 goal every about 15 to tie, to overtake the Barracudas, excuse me.
It's going to be difficult here. Greed on the back foot. Quez is going to have to do something. Make a defensive play. Yags with a 50 there. Sends it over. Greed has possession here. It's 50'd out. Actually beat out by Drift. Now we're doing something in the middle. Is he able to find it here? Sent out in the middle. Maybe a pass by Gababy. A shot taken is blocked out. Greed looking to elevate. Gets one soft touch in his final couple seconds. Kylar is able to get a touch here. This might be it for the Wolves in this final game, too, and we put match point, looking to just save it from the last second goal, and they aren't going to be able to do that. But the Barracudas taking game 2.
Wolves are match point right now, and after having a pretty easy ride to the grand finals, they're struggling. I think they've faced their first real barrier, and at this point, it's reverse sweep or bust for the Wolves.
Yeah, definitely is. And yeah, the Wolves, I feel like it feels more like the Wolves are the ones that are getting fatigued, right? The mental and the confidence has got to be down. Made note of it towards the beginning of the game, and you've got to find a way to get back on that horse, get back on it, and sort of hype up your teammates and hype up yourself and get into it, because this is a do or do not situation. And I understand that it's one of those things of you lose, you go back at it again because another rumble quickly starts after this one. But nevertheless, you've got to have that hunger to win, right? You've got to want it all the time in every single game you play in. And it feels right now the Barracudas want it a little bit more than the Wolves, and that shows. That shows in the scoreline and a bracket reset, and still winning it all, because
Barracudas want it real bad.
Yeah, they've already made it so far. They might as well take the dub all the way. So we just got to wait and see for this final game 3 if the Barracudas take it or the Wolves able to stay alive for one more game.
And again, a reverse sweep is a really difficult position to be in before we get into this game, because it leaves no room for error. You need to play perfectly, and that's something that a lot of teams, like even at the collegiate level, can't do, and it's a relatively unfair thing to expect of yourself.
Yeah. A bracket reset's always going to be hard on anybody unless somehow you train for it every time during practice.
Can you imagine?
Which I cannot, especially in Rocket League. Right off the bat here, there's Gababy looking for a shot or a pass out the middle and Grit with the shot. Yeah, might have follow-up. Nope, there is no follow-up. The Wolves stay scoreless, or the Barracudas stay scoreless. But just this time around,
maybe?
Adrift
wants it. We can kind of tell that the Barracudas, I think all 3 of their members are on the offensive right now. So Quez getting control of the ball, kind of sending things over into the orange side of the field. Now it's Gababy and Adrift on defense. Kylar going to set Green up for our first score of the game. What an amazing pass. Kylar just snuck that right through Adrift, right over Gababy, and then back into that lower left-hand corner.
Gababy, trying to make the soft touch, the play out to the corner, which is traditionally the very safe place for a defensive player to put it, especially with a lot of pressure on your side. Kyler ends up making the good read. Reed was quick to follow up there. Really good teamwork from the Wolves here. A little bit of life being shown. But Gababy now does get 50'd off. No dribble for you, no flick. Yags looking to get a pass down, perhaps a bump. Gababy with the shot off the backboard. Adrift might be there to follow up. A soft touch is saved, but Yags, a quick turnaround, holding down that drift button. Now let him go up.
Barracuda's tying it up 1-1. 3 minutes and 52 seconds remaining. Yags goes sailing right over Kylar, who's been a defensive wall for the Wolves. I definitely do need to say.
Yeah, most definitely. The Wolves, their defense is really strong, but they, in these situations where it's your defense or your offense, the Barracudas are the ones who have shown a little bit more prestige in both sides of it.
Looks like Yags is going to get a shot, but it looks like both Greed and Quez are going to say, absolutely not. And Kylar's going to actually now try to set up Greed or Quez for a goal here. Kylar's looking for a little bit of a clear into midfield. Quez is going to get that touch, but Yags is going to send him packing and kind of send things over to Greed in the corner. And then we kind of see a drifting Quez fighting for possession of the ball. Will Kylar's touch go in? Yags says no.
Yags, that's still possession though. Does get one off the sidewall there, looking to follow up on it, or perhaps get the bump. Greed is able to get the clear. Trying to get the read off the sidewall just to get it. Gababy once again faking on the sidewall here. It's been working out so far. We're going to get one soft touch. Does get it past. Adrift is going to have to make an emergency touch here. Does indeed get it. Now one off this cross, or the sidewall more or less. Yags, now we're quick at the touch. Does get one down. There might be a Doomsday dish play. Gababy with the shot is going to be blocked up by Quez. And now Quez might have the rebuttal or the counterattack played down. Yags quick to follow up. Now it's Greed's turn. Has 100 boost. Gives up to Kyler here. Looking for the pass out middle. Kyler does get bumped out of the play by Yags though.
And as we see the ball go up in the air, Quez goes up to challenge it, kind of sends things in. Ooh, Greed is there to get the follow-up touch, but so is Adrift in that goal. And it looks like Greed is going to send things straight to Yags, who's going to be able to dribble it through the field over Greed and send things to Adrift, who now sends things back to the baby. The Barracudas are circling for this offensive score right now.
Oh, Yags with zero boots. Zero boots making a really good touch there. Gabe with another 50. It's in the danger zone. Quez is able to get a clear here as we just get under this sub 2-minute section. The pass out to Gabe.
There it is.
Oh. And with a minute 51 seconds left, the Barracudas go up by 1.
All right, so we see Yags spike it down and then be up at the top just in case it goes high, but nope, Gabebe's going to go ahead and make that shot. This next 50-50, I think, is very important for these two teams. The Barracudas are going to win the 50-50 initially, but not by much, as Gabebi is currently in possession of the ball, going toe-to-toe with Quez. And then it looks like Quez is now in possession of the ball, kind of trying to get a pretty big clear, and it looks like Yags is going to go up and contest him, but not be able to do... Ooh, Drift is going to take possession, bounce it off the crossbar, but there is no one main field to get that goal.
Yags wave dashing up the side while here in KR, trying to get a flick over one, doesn't get it over to Drift. Now Gabe with the shot on the backboard. Is there a defense? Wow! Adrift with the backboard read here, knowing right where to put themselves. Getting a really good touchdown, and that's really hard to defend against, especially with one defender on your side.
Okay, the Barracudas are now up 2. The Wolves have a minute and 19, so about a goal every 40 seconds for the Wolves to kind of tie this up, which is definitely doable. But Quez getting demoed is going to kind of put a wrench in the Wolves' defense here as the Barracudas go hard on the aggressive.
Quez now with a little bit of boost to work with. The blue side not having a lot of boost to work with in general here. Quez getting one touch over. There could be a follow by Green. The shot is there. Is there a defense? No, it just barely misses. And I believe that was Gabebi that got the clear. I'm not quite sure. Yags with a really good pre-flip and gives it to a Drift. Wow, they are just showing off a lot of mechanical ability here with these pass to this pre-flip by Yags is absolutely insane.
You kind of see that Greed was kind of trying to get it to Kylar in the goal, but instead Kylar was a little bit too far up to stop the Barracudas from scoring. Now up 3, 48 seconds remaining, and the demo on the Greed is going to let the Barracudas be a little bit more aggressive than they could before. Baby's going to get a massive clear and almost a goal, except it's a little bit too far left. Now with another demo on the Green, man just can't play the game right now. Kylar's going to send things, get a massive clear and send things over to Gababy, who gets the save.
These last 20 seconds here. Green needs to do something. They need to put a point on the board if they have any hope of stopping this bracket reset and this loss. The Barracudas are looking to take game 3 and take the finals. Reed gets the revenge demo. Now gets the clear. Will Kyler be able to get a shot? Misses it. Now Gabebi gets to clear the final seconds. The ball touches the ground. And that is the Barracudas taking this week 2 grand finale.
Not gonna lie, I am proud of the Barracudas. They got sent down pretty early, like round number 2, the Barracudas got sent into the lower bracket and then worked their way up here just to get, I think the Barracudas for this match had everything going against them. But they were able to kind of go up against that, beat the odds, and become your Esports Tower champions for this week.
100% beat the odds. They had everything stacked against them and wants to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers. Then join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights with our featured Rumbles, recruiters taking notice as well. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. Wow, just absolutely. The Barracudas pull off a lower bracket run and just take it all the way. They do not have time to celebrate, though, as we get right back into the Rumbles, and we're starting the next week. We're getting right into it, and we're going to see you right after these messages. Stick around.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
You take really strong players from disparate communities and you put them together on teams with expert coaching.
So you mean to tell me by all the hands in the room, everybody in here is that top 2%?
It's ultimate. It's a 1v1. It proceeds to the last moment.
It's not every day that you're a kid like me and you get to have this experience.
Something. He gets one.
This boot camp is really about finding out every weakness.
There's no such thing as a big mistake at this level.
I have people in the crowd there cheering my name on. I have to give them a show.
That feeling of just being up on stage and having a whole crowd of people, it's unbeatable.
1v1, but why would you pick him?
I love this. I want to do this every day.
Another pin.
You didn't make a choice, so you were just looking at things.
If you want to go pro, sometimes you have to make sacrifices.
Jump up and down, you're a crowd, you're casters. It's a transformational experience.
That was a light switch, and now I see what it's all about.
A lot of players here right now are caught up in winning their tournaments 5-10 years down the road. They're not going to remember who won.
It's the end of a good day's work in Idaho. Time to punch out. Time to check in and catch up. Time to remind ourselves that what we work for isn't a paycheck. It's to make the good things we have even better. So here's to your good day's work. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe money is a thing. It's not everything.
Hello, welcome to this week's broadcast of Esports Hot Rumble in Rocket League. We're broadcasting it from the Boise State Esports Arena with the Barracudas claiming the title. It's time to kick off a brand new Rumble to end the night, starting off with the Stingrays versus the Lynx. I am your host, Kwame Junkin, and joining me to call the action is Colby D'Angelo. And we just saw a bracket reset. A team
Massive
that got
upset.
stacked against all odds. And so now to sort of, they just got really into it, and we do see them after this matchup as well. They've got it. They've won it all, and then they're going right back into it again. I cannot imagine, the level of, probably I don't know. I can imagine stress and tiredness is going through their minds, because last week when we first started, and then the second week started, they're two different teams. So it could be the possibility that new teams show up as well for the Lynx as well, and could be an even bigger problem to deal with.
What are some of the names on the teams that we're trying to pay attention to? Like, do we know where Adrift ended up? Do we know where Gababy ended up on these teams? Because I think there were some pretty interesting plays between that duo specifically that I think let the Barracudas pull off that massive upset. So if the duos split, we're going to need to find another duo.
I believe they'll probably be on the same team, because for the Lynx and the for the Stingrays, when they won week 1, they kept the same team composition, and then every other team changed. So I think that's the idea, is that the champions sort of stay the same, and then every other team that didn't win sort of gets changed in and out.
Mixes up. Gotcha.
Yep. Mm-hmm. But we will find out in a moment as the Stingrays and Wolves are going to be new teams here. Stingrays, former champions as well, and Wolves, the runner-up for Week 2 championship, kicking it right off.
Looks like Aria's in charge of the ball right now. Gonna get that backboard touch, and it looks like State is gonna see what they can do. They're unable to kind of get that goal. It looks like Sicko's trying to set him up for it again. Aria has rotated back, gonna get a big clear all the way over into the blue. It looks like the ball's gonna go up into the air. Plee kind of rotating, seeing what they can do, but Spoil's too far back to touch that ball just yet. But Plee, the only defender in net right now, is the other gets demoed.
So it does look like the Wolves are a completely new team as well, compared to the team that we saw just a moment ago with Plee and Tony and X-Spoiled. But State going to be able to put the Stingrays up 1 within these first 40 seconds. And these are best of 3s, by the way. So change, start of the week is always best of 3, and then later in the week goes best of 5. If you don't know how the Esports Tower schedule bracket.
Great, and it looks like ET State currently in possession of the ball. Going to try to send it over. Spoiled, and Plee is unable to do that. Oh, actually, no. He's going to go up the sidewall and be able to do just that, setting up Area possibly for a score, who passes it back to State, who actually all 3 members of the Stingrays are currently committed to the offense right now, as we see maybe Spoiled rotating back?
Oh. Tony not able to quite make the touch with a lot of contact they're looking for here.
Ooh, what a dribble. What a dribble, popped up at just the last second, so gonna have to hit that back crossbar. We see Tony currently kind of looking for their in on the ball, rotating back in the blue to be defensive. Spoiled now in possession, as State is going to get demoed. And it looks like that kind of throws a little bit of a wrench in the Stingrays' rotation, but they're still hard on the aggro.
Probably looking for another flick here. Does get it. Plee off the sidewall defense. Does get over. Sick in just a little bit in awkward position. Does get bumped. Tony might have a free shot here. Saved up by State. Sent off the backward area. Looking to follow up. Sends it up 1. Sicken getting 1 big clear area. Looking to get the redirect. Doesn't quite get it. Plee's going to get the save. Now it's Tony sending it up the sidewall there. Isn't quite able to follow up with it, but Plee is there for the follow. Looking for a pass or a shot. The pass up the sidewall, so they're going to leave possession. Oh, and an open net. Could be dangerous for the Wolves. Tony. Now it's up Spoiled. 1 more touch. It's saved up by State. Oh, it's just chaos in front of this orange net right now.
Looks like as we go up in the air, we see Plee in possession of the ball, trying to get a shot. State is going to go ahead and stop that from happening, and now Tony and Spoiled go down the field. Spoiled's going to dribble it up into the air, get that touch off the back wall, and a demo on the Sicko. Oh! That just went flying in from midfield for the Stingrays.
It's an absolute beat for the side of it. The Stingrays, State and Area Sick on made a lot of strides together. In fact, this coaches are hoping that they show up on the field tonight. However, on the side of the Wolves, this is a different Wolves roster than the one that just lost in the grand finals, so they come in with clear minds and are focused on claiming their own Rumble title.
Looks like as we send things over to Sicko and Tony are going to kind of bounce the ball back and forth. It looks like it's now in possession of State, who's going to juke it around Tony and Spoiled, but Plee's going to go ahead and catch that and send it away from the goal and maintain possession even as Sicko tries to take it from him.
Plee now keeping dribble control here, gets it over Area with States there as the backup. Is he able to get the second quality touch? Spoiled does get absolutely bumped off the plate. Now it's up to Tony. Area does beat Tony out. Now Plee trying to get a soft touch off the sidewall here. Does get beat out. Now his Area looking to beat out 1 more defender. Spoiled to send over the corner. Now it's up to State. Looking for the pass up mid to Sickon with 1 off the backboard. Looking for a second touch. Does get it, but it's 15 out. And Area gets demoed, giving Blue a lot of possession.
It looks like Plee now is in control of the ball, but State is there to defend, so Plee's going to bounce it off the back wall and send it straight on in.
1-2 with sub a minute left here. It's all up onto Plee's shoulder, looking as the only one who's got a goal scored here. Spoiled might have one. It just barely bounces off the sidewall there. Is it going to convert to a goal? And Irish State with the 50 in the air, bouncing in. This could be dangerous. Sickline send it out to the side, trying to keep possession here. Now it's Spoiled off the sidewall. Area slowing down to keep possession of the ball, sitting around the net. Could be dangerous. Keeping the air dribble and the possession here. Bouncing over one in the midfield. Is there a follow-up? Stays elevated. That's going to be 50'd out by Spoil.
All right, now we kind of see Spoil going to bounce things up, try to clear the ball away from goal, which they're able to do successfully almost as far as midfield before State takes possession, goes up the sidewall, is challenged by Plea in the air, and then they get a massive clear. But then, and then Tony's going to go ahead and steal possession from Sicko, even as Area takes it back and sends it in the air. All 3 members of the Stingrays are committed to scoring this goal right now.
Oh, there could be one more. The ball's going to touch as that final second, and that is game 1 going in the favor of the Stingrays, which are looking like a solid team so far. I know it's it's first series, it's first match, so it can't make a whole lot of presumptions about anybody, but it does. It's a completely different roster for both sides. Besides State, I think State's the only one that might be consistency that was on the Stingrays last time. I could be completely wrong. Don't quote me on it, but yeah, sort of heading into it. What do you think that the new Wolves roster needs to do to kind of handle the new State and Area combo is what it's looking like?
I think there are lots of times where all of the Stingrays commit to their goal and all of them are like all the way deep into enemy territory. And I think the most important thing for the Wolves would be in those situations to get a big clear as soon as you possibly can, because holding up against 3 attackers, even if you have all 3 in your defense, that's like at best an even fight for you. If you have anybody anywhere else, you're at the disadvantage defensively. And if they have all 3 members in your Rocket League right in front of the goal zone, you definitely have the opportunity to turn that on them.
And Plea definitely looks like a solid offensive player, both defense and offense. So it might be in their best interest in terms of the Wolves to enable Plea just a little bit, perhaps getting a demo or a bump, enabling them second off the backboard here. Plea able to make a really good stop, but State's there to resend it back into it all. Area of the shot is going to be sent back pass by State. Second getting around one, now to beat Plea here, gets a really good 50. State might be in position, gets a touch on Area, and a really good 3-piece passing play by the Stingrays.
It's going to put them up 4 minutes and 24 seconds remaining. This next 50-50, I think, is going to go away at the Stingrays and actually just get a goal straight off the kickoff.
State on a little performance
up
here. Yeah, up 2. Only 40 seconds-ish have elapsed so far in the game. So definitely don't count the Wolves out of it by any means. State gonna have to make a quick turn here. One touch off the backboard to stop going in the back of the net for them. They might have a beat here. Sikon trying to play around Pleak. Does get the demo. Now it's up to State. Exploit goes off and State able to stay with the ball and get the double touch there.
Man, those wheels on that car just make me uncomfy. Just a bunch of teeth and eyes there for State. We see Area win the 50-50 for the Stingrays, who are up 3, 4 minutes remaining. State's going to try to send the ball in the air and over to Area, does so, and now kind of rotates back down main to see if there's an opportunity maybe for them to score.
The Wolves are set in this game point here. So if this series goes on and continues for them, or it does not. But once again, nothing's sort of done and dusted for anybody, but it looks like this goal is done and dusted as the Barracudas go up. Right, I'm sorry, not the Barracudas, the Stingrays go up 3-0 to the Wolves.
I think it's actually the Stingrays that are punishing the Wolves' triple commits right now.
Yes, yeah, 100%.
That was the advice we gave to the Wolves, but the Stingrays are like, neat. For me?
New advice. Oh, that's really good fast save by Area. Keeps the ball in the back of the net. Explode's going to be looking for a pass out midfield here. Does get the touch a little bit off. Lee might be able to make a shot of it. Off the backboard, goes directly down. Area is able to send it out to the corner here. Tony not able to keep control of the ball.
Area State setting up after that clear. Please going to steal the ball, send things straight down main, but State's going to retake possession, kind of send things to Area, who gets bumped by Tony, but then gets right back in their rotation, kind of trying to score this goal. But I think at least for this attempt, Plea and Spoil have kind of ruined the Stingrays' plans.
The Stingrays are a team that is waiting for it to go on an insane rumble one. If you can catch the fire, so starting strong, it's important for them in this matchup. Essentially, it's just really important for them to get on fire here for the Stingrays. This team's looking confident and they're looking strong. Coaches on the side of the Wolves are excited to see how Plea and Tony play alongside. And Spoiled is a new ET player actually that has a lot of promise for the side of the team. And Tony able to get a really good pass out, but Area is able to put a stop to it all. And now the pass to Area to State. State has a shot and puts it middle, 5-0 for the Stingrays.
Looks like off this next 50-50, the Stingrays are going to use it to be very aggressive as it goes all the way over into the blue, into the hands of Spoiled, who now has the opportunity to perhaps make a play as State is going to contest them for possession of the ball. State's, I think, trying to send it back down to Area midfield, but Area is instead going to rotate to the side, get the ball right over Plea, and actually just send it in.
Making that scoreline even steeper. Even more demoralizing for the Wolves here. A minute and 42 seconds. Is there anything the Wolves can simply do? They've got to put 1 point on the board, take it one step at a time. That's all you can really do. Nothing's quite over for you, but prove a little bit. Tony trying to get the air dribble, doesn't quite get the touch, but that's all that matters. It's just going to float into the goal.
This next 50-50, I think, is very important for the Wolves. And it looks like it goes their way into the Stingrays' territory. It looks like now Area is in possession, actually fighting with State for the ball as State gets demoed. Tony is currently in possession, and then Plea's going to kind of try to send it over to Spoiled, I think. It looks like all three members of the Wolves are trying to do something offensively right now, as Tony's going to try to send that in the goal. No, I think they rotated back and were unable to help Tony as they did that, but now they're back in. So we'll see what they can do. All three of the blue are in the orange.
Making aggressive play. I sort of like it. All for nothing mentality. A little bit like a hockey mentality. Plea getting a touch off to the side while here's Tony looking for a shot. Gets it elevated just a little bit. It's going to be an easy clear for Area. Here's going to soft touch, keep it going, get one touch out. It's going to be assisted by State there a little bit. Plea keeping control. Almost getting bumped there. Trying to flick it around one. These past couple 30 seconds. Saved by Area again. Most definitely probably having a lot of saves through this entire series. I think over 5-3 in this game alone. State trying to get it clear with a shot put on by Plea is blocked out once again by Area.
I think that it looks like Plea's going to kind of try to set up Tony for a goal there, but then Area is just going to go in and kind of steal it there and send it to State, who gets a reasonable clear. Sicko is just sitting in the goal, waiting for somebody to come down. With 23 boost and a dream, Sicko's just sitting there and letting State and Area carry the offense.
Last second is counted here. The next time the ball touches the ground, it is over. And that is the Stingrays that are going to be taking game number 2 and the first series of the new week and this ET Tower Rumble in Rocket League. And what a little bit of matchup. I do like seeing these new teams, these new team combos. State is a very familiar name. To me, I believe it was Spoiled on the other side, and then Plea also looked very solid on there as well. Area is a name also that I know from the other Stingray team as well. State and Area look really good together. So it's looking impressive, and I'm looking to see what this team has to sort of offer for us.
So I do want to make a comment about the Stingrays. They were definitely up a lot in scoring, and they didn't need to score, but once they had that third member just sit in the goal at 23 boost, I mean, first of all, there's the potential for plays that can just go over 23 boost, right? We saw that all the time in the series, like the ball go over Yags' head or whoever, or Kylar's head, whoever happened to be defending that just barely didn't have enough boost. And I think it really hurt the Stingrays' offense once they had that third man just kind of sit in the goal. And when you're 6 points up, at some point, you don't need to score any more points. So I definitely understand the logic, but there was a noticeable difference in the score capability when the Stingrays put that third member just to sit in the goal.
And the Stingrays are going to move on as the Wolves most likely move down a lower bracket, but it's not over for them as we move on to the next matchup of the Barracudas and the Lynx here. The Barracudas that just finished out a 4-series for the lack of a better word, scoring streak or win streak here. And we actually do have a new Barracudas team, which has composed of Greed, Nano, and Kababy.
Nano's new. They traded Nano for Adrift.
Yes. But Nano is a pretty well-known name in the in the esports tower community, especially in Rocket League, being a very young and talented Rocket League player at that.
It looks like Greed is going to challenge Doom for the ball there, kind of send things over to Nano, who's going to send things into the corner, bounce it off. Durkee is going to bounce that right off in the air. And ooh, that was almost a score. Popstar coming in clutch with that save, as well as Doom.
Doom and Papasaur are common names that were on the Lynx as well. I believe Durkee is a new addition to the Lynx team. And
name threw me for a loop there. I was like, looking at that, like, It looks like Durkee's going to kind of get a massive clear all the way over into the blue where Greed takes possession of the ball then. Durkee's going to take it right back and send it over to Papasaur, who is actually going to get demoed by Gababy there.
And looking for a little bit of 50-50 here. Doom now in possession of the ball, looking to go around. Gets one elevated. Easily defended by Greed. Greed does miss the touch a little bit there. Now Gababy off the sidewall here. Look at his self-touch. Doom. A little bit of a bang. Now it's Greed's ball. Doom is going to steal the boost as the rotation back. Now Papasaur slowing down the touch. Does get a 50. Gababy now sent out to the corner here. Here's Doom. One more touch. This could be a goal for them with the power of friendship. Nano and Greed are going to save the ball. Gababy's going to stop it from being put in the back of the net.
Power of friendship ain't enough right here, right now, as Papasaur's going to send it right on the back wall, actually, as Doom and Nano are kind of fighting for possession in that corner. Now Doom and Gababy, as Gababy looks to get it clear, gets it past Doom, but does not get it past Papasaur.
Oh, here might be Greed's chance, and there is Greed. Reading the situation really well. Doom elevated, looking for the flick play, and Greed just drops down, puts it to the right side, and that's an easy goal for him.
It looks like Nano and Gababy are kind of both going up in the air, challenging each other for the ball. Looks like Papasaur is going to try to get it, but it looks like Gababy currently is going to pass it all the way over to Nano on the side. I believe the Barracudas are trying to set up for some big plays right now as Greed goes sailing right past the ball, and all three of the Lynx defenders.
Durkee with the back pass over to Pop. Gababy quick to intercept. Doesn't have the boost to follow up though. There might be a follow up from Nano. There's Nano. Quick on the follow, reading the ball straight down. And that is putting the Barracudas up 2-0 over the Lynx.
Barracudas are coming out just after their win. They're like, all right, we're feeling good, Nano. You joined the team. And it looks like Durkee's going to kind of try to contest Greed for the ball right now. Is unable to get it all the way clear, but now Gababy is in possession, going to bounce it to Nano, who's just going to get the flick and score the third goal for the Barracudas. 2 minutes and 11 seconds remaining for the ET Lynxes to rethink their strategy.
And the Lynxes last time around, in the week previous to this, they were the ones that sent the Barracudas down to the lower bracket. So they feel confident about this series. But so far, it seems like, as I sort of say this, the Lynx get one goal, but nevertheless, it's only one. They need 2 more to tie it up, 3 to take the lead.
The Barracudas are definitely looking at that goal like, oh, we forgot to have somebody rotate back. That just gently rolled on in.
Getting a really good beat here. Now is Doom. Another bang. Durkee trying to look to cover up for it. Nano trying to get the 50. Does get the 50 at the end of the day. Now still sticking with it. Now Gababy off the sidewall here. Now it might be Greed. Pops there to elevate. Still trying to stick with the ball. Greed with the really good 50. And the read off the ceiling. Oh, Gababy with the flick up to Nano. Nano pre-jumped it. Didn't quite connect. Greed sending it right back down. Pops sort of bang it up. Gababy with an easy backboard clear. Now here's Nano with the shot. Elevates. Gonna hit the backboard. Is there a follow-up? And there is. From Greed. Scoring the second goal of the game for them.
Looks like as we kind of go over here, Papasaur is going to get the pretty big clear all the way into blue territory, but Nano's going to take that and actually score a goal. Durkee just couldn't get there fast enough, even with that 100 boost.
Baby. Beating Papasaur here. Fakes it, doesn't quite commit to the shot though. The pass is there, and that is Greed and Nano. Double committing there, but nevertheless, getting the job done. Putting the scoreline 6-1. The Barracudas took their loss last week to the Lynx personal and are making sure that does not happen again.
Gababy and Greed are like, yo, Nano, we got beef, and Nano's like, heard, and is going and is currently setting them up 5, 6-1 with 47 seconds remaining. At this point, Papasaur is going to try to get the clear, but round 1's not looking good for the Lynxes.
So far, round 1, game 1, it could change.
Oh, definitely. This is the best of 3.
Yeah, you never truly know. And the Lynxes can learn. If it was anything like last week, the Lynx sent the Barracudas down. The Barracudas went on a winning streak. So who knows?
Looks like Durkee and Nana are going to kind of challenge each other for the ball. It's going to bounce once off of the sidewall. Gababy's going to get a major save for the Barracudas there, as Gababy is now holding on to that ball, sending it down the field, right into Durkee's waiting tires.
Oh, still keeping it alive, but it touches the ground. And that is the Barracudas taking game 1 of the second best of 3, potentially being the last, putting us into the last match of this week, of the start of week 3 going forward. And it being not a 16 bracket as well, also being 4, we are going to see these teams again when you tune in next week. So it's not over for anybody, but it's still, teams are looking strong. Barracudas are looking very strong, especially with the addition of Greed and Nano. And we knew Gababy to be a very talented player. We saw that from the last series as well. So I'm not very surprised that this team is exceptionally strong as well. Heading into game 2, best of 3, potential last game of the night. First here at Esports Tower. We just have to wait and find out, as it is Greed that gets demoed right off the bat. Gababy's going to have to make a midfield save and keep the ball in their possession, but Papasaur take control.
Durkee's going to take possession of the ball, kind of send it up in the air. Doom is there to follow it up. Can they get it past Gababy? No, not quite, as Nano is currently... Ooh, Nano gets it stolen by Papasaur. And that is all... Could have been a goal there, as Gababy's going to send it straight down midfield, waiting on Nano. Papasaur is there to disrupt, but Greed is trying to get things firmly over into the orange as Gababy goes up the sidewall. Durkee tries to challenge and then decides to back up. We see one bounce off of the sidewall. Gababy's going to send it back up in the air, try to get Nano set up for an amazing aerial play. We get the first bounce there, but the second on goal is not there yet.
Nano might have the shot, does get it, elevate.
Has the shot! Is there Gababy with the follow-up? We saw Doom and Durkee go in to defend. Durkee, excuse me, was able to stop the first touch, but then Gababy said, let me just slide this in right on past you.
Durkee still trying to keep possession here. Greed to touch down to Gababy. Gababy with the stop, does give it away to Doom though. Now Greed playing a little bit of shadow defense. Nano's going to take over. Looking for a second touch. Does send it over. Gababy looking for another one. Doesn't quite get the touch on target. Now Greed to follow up. Looking for a play. Good clear by Pop. And the demo onto Greed. May give the Lynx the chance to regroup. Saved up by Doom.
Looks like Doom is currently in possession of the ball, trying to send it over Greed. Greed barely gets the touch, sending it straight up in the air. Durkee gets the touch, bounces it off the back wall. There is no follow-up. Papasaur was just a little bit too slow. And so there is no goal for the Lynxes just yet, as Durkee still retains possession. No, right as I say that, Gababy's going to steal it, and Durkee's forced to make their second save.
There's Greed. Looking for a pass out middle to Gababy. Gababy gets 50. Trying to make a second touch. Isn't going to be able to do it. Now it's Pop sending it up one. Sending it over Doom. Doom does get intercepted out of it. Now here's Greed, gets bumped off as well. Making it a little awkward for the Barracudas to keep control of the ball.
Looks like kind of as Papasaur has possession, we're going to see Doom demoed. That kind of hurts the Lynx's, scoring potential here. As Gababy makes a shot on goal, but Papasaur is able to just kind of barely bump that out of the way. Durkee also gets demoed.
Keeping control, sends it, looking for the save. Gababy is able to get it. Now it's Pop with the 50. Is going to be able to get the 50. Looking for a pass. Greed is able to intercept it. Now it's Nano. One touch, keeping it upfield. Now it's Gababy. Looking for the shot. Does get it. Nano quick to fall up. Greed is not going to be able to get there in time, as they're stuck in the midfield here. Now Greed trying to make the read on Papasaur. does get the flick, but is intercepted out by Greed. Now it's Gababy. A demo on Doom, leaving the defense on the side of Lynx low. Doom with the shot, saved out by Gababy. Awkward positioning for Barracudas here. But it's ultimately all saved out.
Just barely going to go wide, and then Gababy currently is in possession of the ball. Going to get right under it, shoot their shot, but Papasaur and Durkee are both there to get save credit.
Trying to play it around Greed. Also, Durkee also playing around Greed. Greed 2 for 2 so far. Nano not quite able to make the read. Now it's Gababy getting one off the sidewall here, sticking around for Papasaur. Greed does get one touch, setting out to the sidewall. Nano going to turn around, try and engage the ball, doesn't get it. Now Gababy the shot, saved out by Papasaur. Not a lot of boost on the side of Papasaur here. Rushing at 60. Go to the trade. Flip resets, not going to do much in the midfield here. Now it's Durkee. Passing over to Gababy. Now Nano keeping it up. Pass is great. Gababy. I'm sorry, to Greed. He's going to find it. Nano takes control. This could be a shot potential. Gababy's going to send it off. There was no attacker there to follow up with it. Greed now make a backboard read. Does indeed get it. Nano is in with quality touch. Still staying with the ball. Looking for the flick. Does get it, but it's pinched out by Doom.
It looks like Papasaur is going to send it up into the air. Nano then takes possession of the ball from that aerial play, sending it down to Gababy. Greed's going to bounce it off the sidewall back to Gababy. All three members of the Barracudas are committed to trying to score this goal right now, even as they're now pushed back and then back into the orange.
As these final 15 seconds land out, there's only one goal on the score right here. It's totally doable for the Lynx to do it. They just got to send the ball upfield and find a way to put it in the back of the net. Here's their chance. Here's Gababy's going to send off Doom. Looking for the pass. Gababy's going to get a pinch, trying to put it past Doom. It's still in the air. Gababy gets one more touch and open net for the side of Durkee. It's sent too low. And that is Doom not able to recover quick enough. And the Barracudas take game 2 of the final series of tonight and the start of week 3.
Gotta say, the Barracudas, their scoring potential significantly dropped between rounds 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it definitely, yeah.
There were a lot less goals.
A much closer game. Want to be seen by expert college recruiters? Talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers. Then join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights. And with their featured rumbles, recruiters are always taking notice. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. What a start. A lot of Rocket League that we covered. A bracket reset. The Barracudas still being a dominant team in week 2 and presenting a dominant team in week 3. But out of all the players and all the teams we've seen, do you have a player in mind that you select for player of the game?
I have 2 specific players that I'd like to kind of nominate as carries for each of their team. I'd like to nominate Gababy. Yeah. I think, especially in that last game, Gababy by themselves almost had as many accolades as the entire enemy team and their team combined.
Yeah.
So definitely Gababy was doing a fantastic job, and Gababy was on the team that pulled off the massive upset. So put some honor on the Gababy name here tonight. And then I'd also like to talk about ET State. Those teeth wheels made me viscerally uncomfortable, so I was paying extra close attention to them and all their crazy mechanical skill. And I think in terms of having alkaloids that kind of add up to both the enemy team and your own, State was there too.
Yeah. I 100% agree with the Gababy choice and the State choice, those wheels. We were going to have to work on that. But I also want to point out Yags as well as being a very mechanical player. I just feel like the entire Barracudas team was so strong, but we're going to find out right now.
And Kylar for all the saves.
Yes,
definitely want to highlight that
definitely.
Too.
And there it is. It is Yags. This tonight's player of the game is brought to you by Esports Tower. Want to hone your skills, improve what you have the takes to play at the next level? Head over to esportstower.com and sign up to be part of the action. Yags is your Esports Tower player of the game. Congrats to everybody that played in tonight's matches and those who caught the dubs. Look forward to week 3 and redeeming yourself if you did not. Was looking forward to casting it. But yeah, some of these plays were just, nasty by Yags.
You could see Quez just barely couldn't get there. And it felt like a lot of those Yags play were just like the defenders were there. They were in position, but the Yags somehow just sent the ball around them.
Which is really important because I feel like that's what sort of makes a player of the game when you have the ability. Anybody can put a
There's
banger
3
in the
defenders
net.
in that net right now.
Yeah. Anybody can put a
and
banger.
And Yags just sent it through.
In the net towards the last second, right? Like anyone can score on one defender when they have a perfect pass. But when you set yourself up for a solo play and get it past 2 to 3 defenders, you really set yourself and your team up for success. Anything to close out with before we head out with the top 5?
I'm seeing this one from a lot of teams, and it's the triple commit. That is something that I think is going to need to get cleaned up because we saw just across all of the teams, we see lots of triple commits, and while it can get you a lot of value, there's also immediate punishment there that we saw in our grand finals.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of triple commits, a lot of times ball getting over you. It's a lot of simple things we can work on, and I think teams and their coaches in EC Towers will definitely work on it, and we'll be seeing a lot of quality gameplay. But that'll be doing it all for us tonight for the Esports Tower Rumble that we have going on. Congratulations to all the team on the fantastic night of RL. The Barracudas ran all the way through the lower bracket, and the bracket reset to be crowned champions as last week's Rumble. This week, the Barracudas and Hammerheads are off to quick starts as they set the semifinale show down for next week. Make sure to join us next Wednesday at 6 p.m. An EST to see who will be crowned as champion. We'll close out the top 5, sponsored by the Esports Tower. Want to improve your game skill, take it to the next level? Sign-ups are now available at Esports Tower League. Join our free starter club for Esports for Rocket League and start improving your skills. Head over to esportstower.com. Enjoy the top 5. We will see you all later. And the Lynxes last time around, in the week previous to this, they were the ones that sent the Barracudas down to the lower bracket. So they feel confident about this series. But so far, it seems like, as I sort of say this, the Lynx get 1 goal, but nevertheless, it's only 1. They need 2 more to tie it up, 3 to take the lead.
The Barracudas are definitely
around. Gets a foot challenge. Seven, Tyler off the side while the shot by Quez. And the Wolves go up by 2 with just under 1:30 here.
They're exactly where they want to be right now, the Wolves, to kind of tie things up. The Barracudas have 1:29 seconds to kind of make something happen, which is definitely...
It's in the danger zone. Quez is able to get it clear here as we just get under his sub 2-minute section. The pass out to
Is he gonna get it? There it is.
Oh. And with 1:51 seconds left, the Barracudas go up by 1.
All right, so we see Yags spike it down and then be up at the top just in case it goes high, but nope, the baby's going to go ahead and...
Sickman getting around 1, now to beat Fleet here, gets a really good 50, State might be in position, gets a touch on area, and a really good 3-piece passing play by the Stingrays.
It's going to put them up 1, 4 minutes and 24 seconds remaining. This next 50-50, I think, is going to go play at the Stingrays and actually just get a goal straight off the kickoff. Looks like Yags is nailing the side control right now, nailing the aerial dribbling, just kind of send that right in.
You see the control here, completely uncontested, not only on the sidewall, but it takes a blue defender so long to get up in the air to challenge this. You cannot, they have to market the Yags now.